Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Ballpark. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Moran, alongside Brendan Cunningham. Here today in this one, we're going to be going over some early award predictions. We got some top threes written down, some solo awards, all that good stuff for what we consider the Big Five, and then we'll deliver our players of the week at the end of the episode. So stay tuned for that. First, before we get into all the action, Brendan, how are you doing? I know we're locked in on football season, so Patriots did lose today, unfortunately.
Yeah, Patriots did lose. I was pretty upset. I thought we were gonna win this one, start off strong, 2025, but I guess not. Um, yeah, but it's starting to get a football season. I'm trying to stay locked in baseball. I'm kind of just waiting for the playoffs to start, and then I'm really gonna get back into it. Because week one football, you get all hyped up about it, fancy football and stuff. But I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm good. The Ravens are playing as we record, beating the Bills, obviously. So that's pretty nice. But if let's do a little cross reference of sports. They say that Travis Hunter is the Shohei Ohtani of baseball. I saw that quote resurface today um, as he was making his NFL debut. Do you buy into that? Just as a little subtopic here.
Um, I feel like that's fair to say. I mean, obviously, he has to do it at the level that Shohei does it. Like, he has to be like one of the best at one of those things to be the Shohei Ohtani of football. But to say like, yeah, it's tough to both hit a baseball and pitch, but it's tough to play wide receiver and cornerback or DB or
Corner.
whatever he plays. Corner. That's like one of the tough positions in sports is corner. So
Yeah,
that I think that's fair to say. But he has to do it. I have to see it.
yeah, for sure. I think we gotta just see him prove it. I think that's just the overall message right there. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Shohei's like a two-time MVP award winner. Travis Hunter hasn't played a down of NFL football yet,
Well,
but I
yes.
mean, yeah, he has. So, congrats to Travis Hunter on that. But yeah, I could see it. Like he's playing both positions. It's the same type of idea. But I think obviously right now Shohei's doing it at a way higher level. So
Yeah.
I think we'll segue that into some players that are playing at a high level. Do we want to go, MVP at the back end or get MVP out of the way early?
We always do it at the beginning because like, it's most important. But I don't hate the idea of that's the last thing we do because that's what do you think?
I kind of want to taper it off and go to the MVP at the end.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Yeah. So we'll talk about some of the secondary awards. It feels like I think we'll go to reliever of the year first because that's the one at the bottom of my list. In the
Okay.
American League, I did go with the Cuban Missile Crisis, Aroldis Chapman. Newly
Yep.
extended Aroldis Chapman
Yep.
recently. You will get your thoughts on that, I would assume, if you picked him as well. I mean, he's on a streak of like 0 for 40 ish hitters, like without allowing a hit. Pretty
They
crazy.
they can't they can't touch him right now.
Yeah.
He's on another planet. It's he's there's no other guy like in discussion.
No.
Even the NL, like if there was just a reliever of the year in MLB, he'd be the guy. Because he's on a tear. I'm so glad they extended him. I hope that he can just continue this. He's got something in Boston. To get some extra years on him, I think is crucial,
Yeah.
and he's going to be good for the playoffs. I hope.
Yeah. Um, I mean, he's got a .98 ERA in 55 innings this year, 81 strikeouts. He's 37 years old and he's still doing it. A .64 WHIP is insane. I believe he didn't allow an earned run or a hit in the month of August, and he is still throwing 100. You're never gonna stop this guy. I'd assume you picked him as well. So
Of
yeah, if
course.
you wanted to add anything else, I know you already touched on some stuff.
Um, does I mean people are saying conversation for Cy Young, and that's all you got to say.
Wow. That
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 was
is
that was being thrown around.
that's high praise. And again, he's been around forever. It feels like now. I know.
Has he won it before?
I don't think. Why would he win a Cy Young as a
Not a
reliever?
Cy Young. Not a Cy Young. I mean
Oh,
reliever.
reliever of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I'll look that up. You can segue in the NL reliever of the year.
All right, we'll go to NL. I don't know if this counts, but he spent the first half of the year in the NL. But I'm going Johan Duran of the Phillies. Acquired at the trade deadline. Let me just pull up his stats here. Pitching electric. Obviously, he's got that intro song that's been lighting up at Citizens Bank Park. This season, he's got 27 saves, 1.89 ERA, 68 strikeouts, 1.10 WHIP. He also throws 100, and it's nothing really new for Yon Duran. It's just he did this last year with the Twins and years prior, and I think he's on his way to win the award.
So I actually also had Yohan Duran as my reliever of the year. Hold on. So if we're looking at Aroldis Chapman in his career, a lot of All Star appearances. Um, Trying to find his reliever of the year. I don't remember. He has won reliever of the year before. It's in the American League with the Yankees, or I don't know if it was with the Yankees or not. Can't confirm, but yeah, he's won the award before. But I also had Yohan Duran. To your point, um, it is kind of weird. He transferred leagues, so a lot of these stats are with the Twins. But we talked about it at the deadline. So it's just the perfect move to be made. I mean, Yohan Duran is an animal, and he's in a winning environment now for multiple seasons. That is going to do wonders for him. He has just been nasty since coming over. It was what Philly needed, and he's just unbelievable. He's at a 1.89 ERA in 62 innings, 68 strikeouts, 1.10 WHIP. I mean, he'd be hard pressed to find a better reliever in the game. He's, top five, no doubt, and maybe even further than that. So, I agree with you on Yohan Duran.
Yeah. No questions so far on Leader of the Year. You
No?
want to start us off with Manager of the Year?
Yeah. Manager of the year in the National League. Might have picked him last year. I'm not sure, but I want Pat Murphy of the Milwaukee Brewers. You think about what he's done for the team, and it was a team that kind of was shaky earlier in the year, and people were having doubts, but then they just skyrocketed up the ranks. They are currently, the best team in baseball by record, and you could certainly argue that. And I think part of that is because of Pat Murphy and what he's doing, just getting the most out of his players. And, it's really cool to see a team like Brewers have the success that they do just with, being a sum of their parts type of team. And, just getting the most out of their guys, having those guys perform at a great level for what their standards are. I think Pat Murphy is kind of the driving force behind that. So, Brew Crew, I'm always going to stand with them, and I'm always happy to sing their praises.
Yeah. He actually did win it last year, and I believe we
Oh, back
picked
to
him.
back.
I mean, there's more of a case for him to win it this year. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, they didn't really have it to start the year, and then all of a sudden they won like 12 straight games, something like that. It was crazy. Brewers couldn't lose, and they're still the best team in baseball.
I will fact check that. I'm pretty sure they are record wise. I mean, they're creeping up on. They're one win away from 90 wins. I think that's the best by far.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
that
mean,
is
best team in baseball.
in a league with the Dodgers and the Phillies. Somehow they're better than both of them. Um,
Mhm.
and then they just completely took over the Cubs, who had that number one spot in the NL Central. It's impressive what he's done this year, back to back. No real big names. He just gets it done. He doesn't need the big signs the Dodgers got. He just finds a way. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So we're 3 for 3 so far, which is great. American League Manager of the Year. I don't like to say this because I don't like to praise the Blue Jays, but got to give credit where it's due. I'm going with John Schneider. Um, you look at what he's done. You think about the low expectations that the Blue Jays had. I mean, there was a lot up in the air going into the year, with the American League, but the consensus was the Blue Jays were going to be last. And that has just reared its head completely. They are 82-61 so far as of the time of recording. They are atop the AL East, ahead of the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox, 2 games up on the Bronx Bombers, 3.5 up on Boston. It's amazing what he's done, and just the amount of success the Blue Jays are having. It's a similar conversation in Milwaukee, except it kind of came out of the blue. We knew that that Brewers, pardon me, they could do this and they could kind of work some magic. Blue Jays just kind of looked dead in the water, like maybe they were going to trade Vladdy, maybe they were going to trade Bo Bichette, but instead they lock up Vladdy. Bo Bichette's still there, and this team is just rolling on the good vibes. So shout out the Blue Jays, props to them for what they've done this year, and got to give some credit to the manager.
Yeah, no one really saw us coming. Right now they're top the AL. We were all asking questions before the season started. You know, is this team gonna sell? Is Vladdy gonna get traded? Is Bo gonna get traded? Is everyone gonna get traded? And they extended Vladdy, and we're like, okay, I guess they're doing this. And then they proceeded to just do it. They just did it, and now they're top of the American League, top of the AL East, the best division in the American League. Um, and they've kept it for a while. Where Yankees and the Red Sox are trying to creep up, but it seems like we can never catch them. Can't catch the Blue Jays. They, I mean, Vladdy's playing out of his mind right now. It's crazy what the Blue Jays have been able to do. It's just maybe we'll become playoff time because we've seen it before. Blue Jays playoff time. I don't know. That's the big question. But this far this season, I think he definitely deserves the award.
Yeah. Um, so that makes us 4 for 4, and now we go to the Rookie of the Year. We'll start in the American League this time. My order was Nick Kurtz. Got to say that carefully. Roman Anthony and Jacob Wilson. So 2 guys on the same team. One of them being a Boston Red Sox, who we both love. I would assume you love him. Um, but I mean, Nick Kurtz has been it's just unbelievable. I don't know how else to say it. That guy is on an absolute tear. I mean, he's got like 30 home runs. I'll get up the stats. It's insane what he's done in a short amount of time. A 2024 draft guy, 4th overall out of Wake Forest, immediately making an impact, which is just insane. 29 home runs, 73 RBIs, 1032 OPS, and 352 at bats. He's hitting 300. At only 22 years old, the sky's the limit. He could be, a best first baseman in baseball type. There's just so much there with him. And, yeah, that bat is crazy. He had a 4-homer game this year in Houston, I remember.
It was best game of the year. It was best game of the year anyone had this year.
Yeah.
Nick Kurtz. Um, yeah, I had it actually different. Did you have Jacob Wilson number 3?
I did have Jacob Wilson number 3.
Yeah, I went on Nick Kurtz, the Big Amish number 1.
Uh-huh.
Um, I had Jacob Wilson number 2, and then I went Roman at 3.
So
I,
you flipped Wilson and Anthony.
I hate to do it, but he's going to lose some ground here with the injury, which is tragic. I saw the clip. I was almost tears because Roman Anthony's just been so much for the Red Sox team this year. He's brought it to life. He's playing great. He had that insane home run against the Yankees. I remember that. So he's just gonna lose. He's not gonna play till the playoffs. So he's just gonna lose ground against Jacob Wilson. but he's still going to finish top three. And he would have been top two if he didn't get injured.
Yeah, for sure. I think Roman had that oblique, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, he's been awesome. He got that contract, he got that extension, which was great to see. I think it was a great deal for the Red Sox. And, that guy's super talented. We knew it. He was, arguably the best prospect in baseball coming in. And he's really showed it in the time that he's been healthy. And, yeah, I was more so thinking about the impact that he's had. It feels like the Red Sox are kind of turning a corner. It's like a new era for them with, Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, and hopefully Christian Campbell, who's still in the minor leagues. Just that type of impact that a rookie can have, just bringing in a new face after the Devers trade and all that. And, it really feels like the Red Sox are ushering in, the future. So that's probably why I went Roman number 2. Plus, he's just super fun to watch. And, yeah, I couldn't ignore even though it was a smaller sample, still been phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget Peyton Tolley in that group, too.
Peyton Tolley, yeah, on the mound. He looked good against Paul Skeens, I think, the other night.
He had a nice battle against Paul Skeens. He's in that. It's a new core
Yeah.
in Boston. I like it.
Carlos Narvaez, right there, too.
I guess he's older, but he is a rookie.
Yeah.
And then I'll go in the NL. I had Cade Horton at my number 1, Drake Baldwin number 2, Isaac Collins number 3. I feel like the real debate here is between Cade Horton and Drake Baldwin. I don't know you had, but I feel like that Cade Horton's role he stepped into. I mean, going in this playoff team. I think he's thrown great innings for them, and they didn't really have this expectations coming in, and now like I said, they're going to make the playoffs. Drake Baldwin's having an amazing year. The Braves just aren't as competitive. Going back to that impact that you said with Roman Anthony, I think that's kind of why I put him at number 1.
Yeah. So I had those 3 guys. I had them in a different order, though. I had Isaac Collins number 1, and I had Drake Baldwin number 2, and then Cade Horton number 3. So for me, I went with Isaac Collins just because he's playing meaningful baseball, and he's been an impact player on the best team in baseball, which he talked about, in the Pat Murphy segment there. I think what he's done has been really fun. He's not the best player, I think, in this crop, right? I mean, Drake Baldwin and Cade Horton are probably going to go on to have better careers than an Isaac Collins, but he's a really fun story. I mean, it's a 28-year-old rookie. He's got an 800 OPS, hitting 275 with 9 homers, 54 driven in 342 at-bats, drafted back in 2019, finally surfacing at the big league level. I mean, yeah, Isaac Collins, I think, is a fun guy to pick. Just a good narrative. And then I went with Baldwin over Horton just because, I'm going to give the edge to the catcher who's playing every day. Drake Baldwin's kind of caused, a timeshare with Sean Murphy, which is more so a credit to Baldwin. And then, Cade Horton, while he's having a great run here, I don't know if it's, a pitcher has to be insane for me to put them number 1. So, yeah, but I do think Cade Horton still deserves some shine. What he's done for the Cubs is huge. And same thing with Isaac Collins. It's in a big-time, environment, big-time playoff race. But I just don't think the innings are totally there and the production's totally there, although it's been great nonetheless. But, yeah, that was my order. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I had Tarek Skubal, Garrett Crochet, Hunter Brown. So I think we matched up there. Nice. Um, yeah, it's tough. I mean, Garrett Crochet, a super fun pitcher to watch. That guy's just a mountain on the mound. Um, but it's hard to deny Tarek Skubal. I mean, that guy just pumps out quality starts like it's his job. It's pretty insane. Um, the fact that that guy just he goes 7 innings or 8 innings, 1 run, 2 runs every single time. He's he has a very good chance to go back to back with his 2.10 ERA and 180 innings. The 222 strikeouts is just out of this world. .86 WHIP in 28 starts. He's 13-4. I mean, that's hard to deny. I mean, that guy, he never fails. It feels like he's invincible. Um, and then Garrett Crochet right up there too. He's been incredible, like I talked about. And then Hunter Brown, I think he's amazing. With Houston, I feel like they needed that. So he's been he's been a steady presence and been doing a fantastic job as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, NL Cy Young. I will preface this. I did not include Zach Wheeler. Unfortunately, he went down with the blood clot and he had to get surgery. I think so. He's done for the year, which is a huge blow to Philly. But he's got a teammate on here, so not too bad. I got Paul Skeens number 1. I got Freddie Peralta number 2, actually, and then I got Christopher Sanchez number 3. I mean, I think it would have been Zach Wheeler's award at one point, but like I said, he got hurt, so you know he's not gonna have full body work. Excuse me, but Paul Skeens, it's unbelievable what that guy can do with a baseball. He is really just the modern pitcher, and he's figured out how to be successful with how to manipulate pitches, and he adds a new pitch every day. It feels like you got to appreciate greatness. Paul Skeens is certainly that. He has a 1.98 ERA this year, and his career ERA 1.97, 173 innings, 195 strikeouts, .94 WHIP, 29 starts. He's only 10-9, but I think I saw a stat the other day that he would be like he'd have 30 wins in his career, and Pirates just gave him run support. So yeah, this is a generational type of arm in Paul Skeens. Yeah. Um, MVP. We'll go to the American League. This is a fascinating conversation, and it's a two-horse race, and the third spot's up for grabs. I think we all know this at this point, but I think bias aside, I'm gonna go with Cal Raleigh. I I know it's really tough call at this point. Yeah, it's razor thin, but this is the best catching season of all time in Cal Raleigh. 53 home runs, a 932 OPS, 113 driven in, even stolen 14 bases, 527 at bats. he's playing every single day. Maybe not all of them behind the plate, but when have we ever seen a catcher do this? This is one of the hardest things to do in baseball, it feels like, is be on that offensive level while, doing dirty work behind the backstop. Uh, combine that with the fact that Judge was hurt for a little bit, even though he is on a historic pace as well. Cal Raleigh is just that guy in Seattle. Oh, my bad. I didn't have a number three. Who would I say number three? Why did I forget? Here, you go ahead with your guys. I'll get back on number three. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer necessarily, but it's just when you have the best season of all time at a at as difficult of a position as catcher, for me that just wins out. I to gotta give it to Cal. That's where I'm at. I think the third spot for me. Did you have a third? Who was your third? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about Bobby Witt. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about Bobby Witt. I was thinking about J Ram. Um, yeah. It's fortunately the Guardians are downturning, but that's not J Ram's fault. I don't know. You kind of just have to pick filler. It's kind of a cop out, but I'd go with Bobby Witt. I'm thinking of Bobby Witt like if the Royals make it into the playoffs. I know they're still hanging around that playoff picture. It's going to be on the back of Bobby Witt. So it, he is. That is a monumental comeback if the Royals make the playoffs. And yeah, Bobby Witt's going to be leading the charge. So yeah, I think Bobby Witt's a fair answer. I know. I mean, might as well be the Shohei Ohtani MVP award. And then hmm? I went Shohei Ohtani, and then I went Kyle Schwarber, and then I went Kyle Tucker, number 30. So, kind of an interesting crop. I mean, Shohei, we've talked about him so much on this show. It's like crazy. He homered twice today against the Orioles. That was fun to watch. But it is what it is. It's Shohei. Like that's that's it. Um, he has been pitching this year. He's got a 3.75 ERA, 36 innings. He's innings management, but he does have 49 strikeouts and a 1.19 WHIP. He's 1-1 in his time on the mound, and then he's got an 1,000 OPS at the plate. 48 home runs, 90 driven in, 17 stolen bases, nearly a 280 average, and 541 at bats. There's nothing he can't do. It's that simple. Talked about it. I think it's just cut and dry. I think it's gonna be number 3. It's not enough to say. I thought they were already here. Like go to sports type of type of conversation. I thought you were going there. Okay. Oh man. Oh, three. Shohei's won 3 MVPs. This is gonna be 4. He won in 2021. He won in 2023. I forgot about that one. And then last year, yeah. I forgot an MVP of Shohei. That's it's a joke. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't even, I don't even know. But I did have this thought. Just hear me out. What if they made Shohei a closer? I mean, why not? Shohei. I I think that would be the most automatic ninth inning of all time. Yeah, yeah. That was a crazy time. Would you? I mean, would he be better than Mariano Rivera as a closer? I, I mean, I know I'd probably still take Mo, but damn. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, all right, fair enough. Now we get into our players of the week. Got one hitter, one pitcher. Brandon, you take it away with the bat. It was might have been over 500. 520. Yeah, you got paid $500 million. It better be worth it. Pitcher of the week. We talked about Shohei Ohtani. It's his teammate Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Went 15 and 2/3 innings this week. He K'd 20. It's crazy. 2 quality starts, 1.15 ERA, a .45 WHIP. And that's off the charts. He only allowed 1 homer. He allowed 2 walks and 5 hits. Uh, he didn't win a game. He didn't pick up, or I don't know. He didn't lose, so he didn't have a decision this week. But what he was doing was awesome, and he had the 8 and 2/3 no hit in Baltimore before it got broken up by the Jackson Holiday home run. So that was pretty cool for me, but not for Yamamoto. Uh, excuse me. Either way, still a incredible week for him. And with that, those are our players of the week. Congratulations to those two, and that pretty much does it for the episode. That's all we got on the docket. Brendan, any last thoughts? No doubt. In September, the race is on for some playoff spots, and we'll bring you all the action here on the podcast. So thank you so much for listening. Everything you need is in the episode description. And with that, we'll see you next time.